So, attempting to join the Pegasus and Unicorn Crystals did not work. All hope is lost, the group is disbanded, and Sunny's dream of reuniting the races is thwarted for good. So where's the third crystal? Yeah, I'm not dumb. There was a third panel missing in the stained glass mural that had the Earth Pony Crystal. Where in Maritime Bay is it? Okay, that raises a number of questions. How the heck did Argyle not know he put the Earth Pony Crystal in the lamp? Was it just lying around in the gallery and he just thought it looked pretty? For that matter, what the hell was the Earth Pony Crystal doing in Sunny's house? Actually, that last question I could probably answer. Given that Sunny's home is a lighthouse and one place in the center of that lighthouse contraption, the crystal was probably the light source for the lighthouse. Now, whether the other two crystals are needed to generate power, or the Earth Pony Crystal could do it on its own, is up for debate. But I do have an idea why it was in the lighthouse. That being said, the Plot Convenience Fairy was on overdrive for that moment. So Sunny's hopes are renewed. Again, as she runs into Hitch, where...
Wait, what is going on here?
We can't tell you. We've signed the official Sprout Act.
Official Sprout what?
Oh, this is going to be amazing. Oh my god! Sprout with the cloak and the hat and the step stool. The banner hitting his face. Okay, I know Mad Munchkin already made this joke, but Shrek, take it away.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
I know. Obvious dick jokes aside, I'm technically not wrong. Remember, this has been building since the opening scenes with Sprout wanting to be the sheriff. With that taken away, his constant pratfalls, as well as his damaged ego, and still firmly holding his mama's boy card, he overcompensates. Sheriff becomes emperor, citizens become brainwashed subjects, and Mama is now having doubts about her parenting. Hitch and Sunny try to sway the, alright, not really, brainwashed masses by telling them there's no reason to be afraid of the other races because they have no magic. Sprout, the genocidal mama's boy that he is, thinks this is a great opportunity to unveil his great weapon to attack the other ponies while they're defenseless.
Say hello to Sprouticus Maximus!
I think Gravedigger's gonna sue somebody. Oh, and if you thought the robot pony monster truck was a bit far-fetched, just a reminder, the original design had Sprout build a giant Phyllis to slay his enemies. And still, it is less absurd than the copyright-infringing candy robot who drowns his victims in liquefied starbursts. Hitch and Sunny run off to warn Bridalwood, and they run into everyone. Pipp, Zip, Izzy, Queen Haven, the Pomeranian, Alphabeetle, the Professor, and Marianne. Sprout soon arrives in his Deathmobile to start firing on the other ponies. Sunny tells the rest of the group there's a third crystal as they head to the lighthouse. So, I have mixed feelings about the climax. It has its fair share of pros and cons, and one of the biggest cons is the attack on the lighthouse felt slow. It's unfortunately a staple of most 3D animation where movement isn't as fast to gain a real sense of urgency. Compared to, say, the Siege of Canterlot during a Canterlot wedding, running to take on a horde of changelings compared to a truck that can't maneuver too well and is practically unstoppable doesn't really have the same impact, story-wise. In addition, 95% of the movie is slice of life based. The 5% that's focused on a high-stakes adventure feels really out of place. There were some positives in the action scene, though. An overlooked one is Queen Haven saving Alphabeetle from getting run over by Sprout. The other is Phyllis finally putting her foot down and saying no to her son. Unfortunately, it comes too late as the last ram against the side of the lighthouse causes Sunny, Pipp, and Izzy to fall out of it, knowing that bringing the crystals together in the mechanism did nothing.
I understand now. It's not the crystals that need to be brought together. It's us. We can bring back everything that was lost, but it's up to us.
So, I decided to do this portion of the review in live action, and for the most part, unscripted. I feel like if I portray this part of my review this way, I feel like it'll come across as more genuine. And I do say it's mostly unscripted. Actually, I'm reading off an outline so that way I know where I am in my thoughts. So I keep a little bit of focus here. So as I was writing this review, I thought a lot about the messages and themes and what the movie was trying to get across. And the more I thought about the basic message that a lot of people would come to, the more I thought it was incorrect. Incorrect isn't the best phrasing for this. I guess is like not digging deep enough. So, I might as well just say, or at least my epiphany that I came to when reviewing this. My Little Pony: A New Generation's message is not about racism. I could easily say that the message is don't be racist. But like I said, that's surface level. It'd be like, the equivalent of putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. You address the top layer of skin if you do that, but unless you take the bullet out, you still have a problem. You're addressing a symptom, not a cause. So, when I came to this conclusion, I realized I only said the word racism or racist twice in the entire review. And that was right at the beginning when I was talking about the themes being blunt. And the theme that everyone sort of gravitated to was the racism stuff. But there's the other that I think gets addressed better in this. And that is also regarding the main villain of the piece. Fear is the main villain. I mean, yeah, I could easily say, Phyllis or Sprout are the villains, but they, like I said, they come across more as antagonists than actual villains because, quoting, movies and presidential speeches, fear is the mind killer. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And, doubling back to one of the questions that the movie asks, what do you do in a position of power when fear is a primary factor, when people are panicking? So now I want to address the second question. What does fear do to someone? Well, that I weirdly enough look to the Star Wars prequels, where Yoda says that fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And, we saw all three in the movie. With anger, we saw the Pegasi were lied to about their flight status, about everyone's flight status, and they wanted answers from their government. So they ended up blaming everyone under the sun with no real answer. I mean, we know the real answer, it's just magic's not there. But the answer of, why would you lie to us? And then that anger leads to hate. I mean, we all saw that prejudice is everywhere in Equestria, and hell, even Izzy's a little bit prejudiced at the beginning of the movie, or at least when in her song Fit Right In. but it's emphasized hard with the Earth ponies. The propaganda strewn about the town, and the faulty products needed to ward off their enemies, or ward off the newcomers, or ponies that weren't like them. And then you get suffering. The unicorns are languid. They need to expel jinxes, bad luck that isn't even there if someone says the word magic, wing, or feather. It's really sad, and also kind of depressing. Like, if that's where it leads, I don't want to be a part of it. I mean, fear divides us. It makes us careless. It has us bear false witness. It has us rely on superstitions. But at the end of the day, I do agree with Sunny. We should choose love and friendship over hate. Because if we end up choosing the latter, it only brings destruction. The demolition of a lighthouse, a symbolic beacon that guides those who are lost and welcomes those who look to meet others, was the giant wake-up call everyone needed. And they did it with no real figure stand-in. There's no Helen A. There's no Jack Robertson. There's no weird guy selling you, rabbits for no gosh darn reason. This is a situation that could happen to anyone. And it's happening now. The destruction of the lighthouse also leads into my favorite moment of the movie. After Sunny gives her epiphany, the three older ponies come together to fix the broken picture frame of Sunny and her father. The liar, the scammer, and the bigot put their prejudices aside to finally bury the centuries-old hatchet. And in doing so, bring back the magic. So, yeah, Sunny's an alicorn. Sort of. Okay, outside of it being foreshadowed to death at the start of the movie, the wings and horn are not permanent fixtures. Unlike Twilight's transformation, they are magically translucent and will fade away by the start of the series. The only thing that's new is the small tuft of rainbow that's in her mane. Do I have any issues with her achieving that temporary status? Not really. Alright, let me put it this way. It's not as bad as Cora learning how to airbend out of nowhere.
Mommy, was I a good sheriff?
Look! A flying dog!
Well, so much for that backbone I praised earlier. Going out like the coward you are.
We did it! Together. Now we never have to be apart! Hooves to hearts!
And that was My Little Pony, A New Generation. I never thought I'd say this, but this is one of those movies that the more I think about it, the more I absolutely love it. Are there storytelling problems? Yes. Are a couple of characters underutilized? Sure. Can the themes be overbearing? Absolutely. But I'm part of the 88% majority who's willing to overlook that because of strong character development, great songs, hilarious writing, and a cautionary moral that needed to be told. It's like Zootopia in a way. While that moral was about prejudice can come from anywhere, even the players we're rooting for, A New Generation's message explains what happens if we let our fears percolate. In these trying times, My Little Pony Generation 5 is ready to tackle modern issues, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what's on the horizon for the next generation of ponies. Like I said, the movie isn't perfect, and I did offer some critiques for a couple of moments that would have added much needed character points. But what if we could change just one thing? Tune in next time as I take a look at several bad episodes of The Last Generation that would have been improved with just one fix. I'm the voice of reason, and you're at the screening.